Grand rising, grand evening, whatever time it is for you. I wrote a poem. Woe to those who've used their tongues to bind the children of the sun. Woe to those who wield abuse, like a tool to hide that they're accused. Woe to those who see the harm, abuse of power, but don't disarm. Woe to those who battle blind, for they have yet to awaken to the time. They can't sense the pattern that creeps beneath, that they're being regifted their treachery. That what worked before to embolden them will be the very path to their lament. The energy is moving in reverse to bring rebalance, to heal the curse. Resetting Gaia's grid, crystalline seal. The karmic test is your free will. How will you choose to move within when the past crossroads present again? Will you repeat the same mistake? Will you see the tests? Will you contemplate? Will you pause this time before you move? Will you walk towards death, or will you walk towards truth? Will you reflect to the universe what you have learned? Will you remember the lessons? Will you discern? These are some questions that you can ask. Your answers seal the fate of your destined path. I hope you're all having a wonderful day or evening, and I'm sending you all so much love. I know that my answer is, as far as I'm concerned, so long as I have the will, my guides will make the way. And that's reflected back to me every day. Just a side note, something I was thinking about earlier is that when it comes to poetry, and I think in rhymes a lot of the time, especially when I just kind of allow, when I'm in the now moment, I just allow my thoughts to flow. It'll start off just me thinking, and then the patterns start, or the words start syncing up. And I think that poetry, and people who enjoy poetry, people who feel like it kind of tickles an itch in their mind, are often people who have heightened pattern recognition skills. And so I think that that might be the reason why people who are more prone to recognizing patterns also tend to do things like write poetry or rap or music, or really do anything that you can find patterns. Because I know with me, I am constantly looking for patterns, or I guess I'm very open and receptive to them. So they come into the conscious awareness. Patterns emerge, and it even happens when I think. So, or when I write, I can start out writing something, and then it will, the patterns of the words will start emerging, and then it'll turn into like a poem or something. But yeah, that's just a side thought. It's a beautiful day outside. There's a lot going on in the energy. There are a lot of people that are realizing that their limiting beliefs, their preconceived notions, their egos, their stubbornness and unwillingness to objectively observe has not worked out in their favor, and is not for their highest good or for the highest good of others. And I think that we will start seeing a lot more people having come to God moments, for lack of better words, where they realize that it was their own limiting beliefs and I guess, sorry, I thought my baby woke up, their own biases their own, in some cases, bigotry, or, you know, their own projected beliefs and patterns that they believe that they have observed based on certain connotations connected to people who look a certain way, or people who grow up a certain way, or education levels, etc., that they're wrong. they've allowed themselves to do a lot of harm due to those limiting beliefs, and then taking their own limiting beliefs and judgments of others, and kind of blanketed judgments, or grouping an entire, you know, group of individuals into one category, trying to stuff people in boxes, stuff people in categories, that moving in that way can cause a lot of harm, both to themselves and others. But also, there's so many people on the planet right now who they don't fit in any boxes. I've had people make some pretty interesting assumptions about me, who I am, how I move, my beliefs based on the color of my skin, based on my demographic background, my children, my upbringing. I was actually raised by the government, partially, and partially by a government contracted cult. But I grew up in like facility group homes, and I also did a lot of I didn't want to be in facility group homes. I didn't want to be a system robot, so I would run away a lot and just go sleep in the riverbeds, or, you know, underneath bridges, out in nature. Yeah, I've had a lot of really interesting experiences that have given me the opportunity to see a lot of patterns that maybe a lot of other people might not have been subjected to, or given the opportunity to see, like growing up in government facilities, you know, for foster children, and having, you know, the government be my mommy and daddy, and what that really looks like, and how, you know, what they really do to children that are wards of the state, and what this system really is from the inside out. And it's given me a lot of insight. But patterns and biases are two completely different things. You can recognize patterns, but those patterns should change with new information. Unfortunately, that's not really how our system functions. But that is changing. Things are changing, and things are going to look a bit chaotic before that change is truly evident. Anyways, I'm sending out so much love to the universe and beyond. Bye.